Women do not chase the loudest man, the toughest man, or the man who tries the hardest. Women chase the man who possesses emotional control, the man who moves with quiet certainty, the man who remains composed when others panic, the man who does not lose himself in desire, and the man who can feel everything without reacting to anything. Emotional control is not coldness. It is mastery. It is the ability to stay rooted when your emotions want to pull you in every direction. And in a world where most men are emotionally chaotic, overthinking, overreacting, overtexting, apologizing for things that don't matter, an emotionally controlled man becomes rare, valuable, and almost magnetic. Women cannot help but feel drawn toward it because he represents something deeper: stability, strength, presence, leadership, and an internal world that cannot be shaken by attention, rejection, drama, or temptation. An emotionally controlled man makes a woman feel like she can let go because he won't fall apart. And this is where the chase begins. A woman doesn't chase a man who demands attention. She chases the man who gives her peace simply by being himself. She chases the man who understands his emotions instead of being ruled by them. She chases the man who can care deeply without becoming desperate. She chases the man who doesn't rush, doesn't beg, and doesn't fear losing her, because a man who fears losing her has already lost himself. Women chase emotionally controlled men because emotional control signals value. A man who is calm under pressure gives a message. I have options. I have purpose. I have direction. He is not acting from insecurity. He is acting from abundance. Women sense this instantly because they feel the difference between a man who wants her and a man who needs her to feel like a man. The first is attractive. The second is repelling. Emotional control communicates that your life is bigger than feelings, moods, and impulses. It shows that you live by reasoning, focus, and inner power. This taps into a deep psychological truth. Women feel drawn to masculine energy that is firm, grounded, and contained. Masculine energy without discipline becomes chaos. With discipline, it becomes presence. When she feels that presence, she feels safe. When she feels safe, she opens up. When she opens up, she begins to invest. And when she invests, she starts a chase. Men who lose control lose the chase. Men who hold control create the chase. Women also chase emotionally controlled men because he becomes a mystery. Most men reveal everything at once. Every emotion, every fear, every desire, every thought. But an emotionally controlled man reveals selectively. He speaks with intention. He expresses himself calmly. He doesn't brag. He doesn't overshare. He doesn't dump emotional problems onto her. His silence becomes intriguing, not confusing. His calmness becomes attractive, not boring. His restraint becomes powerful, not weak. She wonders, why isn't he trying harder? Why isn't he reacting? Why isn't he impressed? Mystery makes her think. Thinking makes her invest. Investment makes her chase. The more she tries to decode him, the more she feels drawn in, because she sees his energy cannot be controlled or influenced by simple words, emotions, or games. She starts to realize she cannot manipulate him. She cannot destabilize him. She cannot test him out of his frame. And this is when her respect grows. Women do not chase men they do not respect. Emotional control creates respect. Respect creates attraction. Attraction creates the chase. Another reason women chase emotionally controlled men is because he does not break under tests. Women test men not because they are cruel, but because they want to see if the man they're interested in truly holds the emotional strength he projects. They test because they want to know if the man can lead, if he can withstand pressure, if he can protect her emotionally, if he can remain grounded even when she is not. Most men fail these tests instantly. They get defensive, angry, insecure, needy, or emotional. But the emotionally controlled man remains calm. He doesn't snap. He doesn't respond with ego. He doesn't get offended. He doesn't try to prove anything. His peace is untouched. And this makes her feel something she rarely feels: admiration. Women chase the man they admire. A woman can be interested in you without chasing you. But admiration changes everything. Admiration is what makes her think about you when you are not there. Admiration is what makes her check your messages faster. Admiration is what makes her care about your opinion. Admiration is what makes her crave your validation. Admiration is what makes her chase. Women also chase emotionally controlled men because he has standards. Emotional control gives him the ability to say no, to walk away when a relationship is unhealthy, to refuse disrespect, to respect his own time, to protect his mission, to keep his boundaries strong. Most men break their standards when they like a woman. They become overly available, overly agreeable, overly forgiving. They lose themselves to keep her. But an emotionally controlled man understands that a relationship is not worth losing your identity. His emotional discipline allows him to maintain frame, and frame is magnetic. When a man refuses to tolerate chaos, the woman naturally aligns herself with him. When a man refuses to be emotionally manipulated, she grows more careful with him. When a man refuses to tolerate disrespect, she offers more respect. When a man refuses to chase, she steps forward. Standards create emotional gravity. Women chase the men they cannot push around. But most importantly, women chase emotionally controlled men because emotional control is the highest form of masculine confidence. It shows that you trust yourself. It shows that you are not threatened by other men. It shows that you are not worried about losing her. It shows that you know your worth. Emotional control transforms you into the prize not because you pretend to be, but because you genuinely believe you are. And when a man truly believes he is a prize, he radiates a type of confidence that cannot be fake, forced, or performed. It comes from inner alignment. It comes from purpose. It comes from discipline. It comes from mastering your mind before trying to master the world. Women feel this energy immediately. They feel in the tone of your voice, in the way you handle conflict, in the way you deal with silence, in the way you manage distance, in the way you react when things don't go your way. A man with emotional control communicates that he can handle life. And a man who can handle life can handle love. And a man who can handle love becomes the kind of man a woman wants to invest in, because he becomes the kind of man she does not want to lose. Emotional control does not mean suppressing emotion. It means understanding it. It means holding it. It means guiding it. It means expressing it the right time, in the right way, from a place of strength, not fear. A man who cries out of weakness loses respect. A man who cries out of authenticity gains respect. The difference is emotional control. A man who gets angry instantly seems immature. A man who stays calm, then speaks clearly, seems powerful. The difference is emotional control. A man who panics when she pulls away seems insecure. A man who remains centered seems confident. Again, the difference is emotional control. When a woman sees a man who has mastered this inner discipline, she chases because she knows these men are rare.